Well, Becca, today's guest made me think about my childhood because,
Really?
oh yeah, yes, because a couple of Tabby's interests were related to me in childhood. So for a very early on in my life, I would watch like shows like the Transformers.
Mm.
Uh, but that didn't really last too long. I think because I would get these action figures and I really wouldn't know what to do with them. Like create like pretend play and things like that. The dialogue wouldn't last for very long. So that's been a theme throughout my life. So I was wondering what were some maybe childhood loves of yours?
Well, I have and always will be, I think, a TV person. So definitely TV was a big part of my life as a kid. But in terms of like special interest, I never really considered TV a special interest till I got older and there was like a history and a catalog that I carried around with me. But as a kid, it was just enjoyment. So I didn't really think about it like that. The stuff that I really enjoyed doing was really science-based stuff. And it was always really weird because I was a girl and why does she like this stuff and all of those kinds of things. And people would get me dolls, and I think I knew even less what to do with them than you did, Doug. I didn't even create dialogues for them. I just lined them up somewhere so they were out of the way and they looked nice. Like I really just had no interest in that. I was an information seeker. So like I just wanted to know more about whatever it is that I wanted to know more about. Dinosaurs for a while. For a really long time, it was volcanoes. And then I just kind of got into like astrology and understanding sort of the universe in a bigger way and got into that. That was my last sort of childhood special interest was astronomy and then anthropology. It was very sciencey as a kid.
I don't picture you as a Barbie type of girl.
No. I didn't understand them, and like I was the girl that I got them, and I would cut their hair off, and then be like, now what do I do with them? That was it. So I think once I hit about 12 and I was really able to vocalize that, my grandma just stopped giving me dolls. So that was it. And then I just wanted books. Just anytime I had gifts, it was always a book of some kind.
Hmm. I wasn't I wasn't into Barbies either.
Hmm.
I just think they're like pointless.
Yeah, I didn't understand them. I didn't understand the joy that came from them because I didn't get any joy from them. So yeah, so welcome Tabby. Let's bring Tabby on it and we can talk a little bit about her interests and see if we can't get a little excited about those things. So welcome Tabby. Let's get started with your questions.
Okay.
So, so Tabby, so we talked a little bit about Transformers. Where was that a childhood thing? Was it? I mean, I know there's a lot of the Transformer movies out now. Like, where did that start?
Well, obviously started in my childhood. When about about 7 years old. I did have slippers when I was four. There's photos of that, but I didn't really get into Transformers until I was about 7 years old.
Mm-hmm.
And what was it about Transformers that excited you?
I think it was like fascinating, but like you got these robots, so they could turn into cars, semis, planes.
Mm-hmm.
So that aspect of it is like fascinating to me. It's like 1 minute, they could be like fits a robot, next minute they're like a Corvette or something, and be able to blend in.
I don't think the movies did the '80s TV show justice.
Well, I seen all five the live action movies. In fact, the second live action movie, oh, my now husband and I went to see that one on our first date.
Oh, wow. Who chose the movie? Did you or did he?
I just basically told him I basically told him that I want to see it someday. I was thinking like see it was on DVD. He was like, I could go see it with you.
Oh, that's nice. So you connected on that right away, huh?
So, so one of your special interests, I'm really connected to, because I've always been passionate about professional basketball. So I saw one of yours was Tony Kukoc. So
Yeah,
it made me think you're either from Chicago or Croatia, because that
I'm from Illinois,
okay.
and which basically makes me a Chicago Bulls fan.
Okay.
And
So
as far as I know, I have no crazy DNA in me.
yeah. So I grew up and to this day, a New York Knicks fan. So the Chicago Bulls traumatized me in the 80s and 90s.
Yeah, especially as a pivot dunk on Ewing.
Yes, I do remember that. Yes. Why Tony Kukoc though? He probably wasn't their best player. So what was it?
Well, well, for me, it's like I became a fan of his when I was 12 years old. I didn't make it official till I was like 14. So in other words, you could probably say I came out of the Kukos fan closet at the age of 14. For him, for Tony, he's like a versatile player. He could do like he could play point guard one minute, power forward the next. Just basically, it's all around player. That's basically the reason why I like him.
He could do it all.
Yeah,
He was kind of ahead of his time because
yeah,
now that's what's kind of professional basketball's turned into. It wasn't always like that.
yeah. Back then, it's like very rare to say like a European trained player, in the NBA, but the teams nowadays, so you can see like multiple European trained players on the same team.
Right. Now it's turned into like an international game. Before it was like exclusively to the United States.
Yeah.
And I know nothing about it. Zero. As a short person, I never liked basketball, never followed it, couldn't do it myself, didn't get it. I've always been a baseball fan. I just never got into basketball.
I'm also a baseball fan. I'm a huge fan of the Cubs.
Nice.
But Becca, you're from New York. You never paid any attention to like the Knicks or anything like that.
Didn't. I really was like, I just couldn't connect with it. And when I try to watch it, it's so fast for me. Like, I can't, it's like hockey. I have trouble watching hockey, not live. Like, I can't watch hockey on TV. It's too fast, too much is happening. Soccer, too, tough for me. Less tough, though. But I like football and baseball because that I can follow on television. And I was always that was in my house a lot. Like, that was played in my house. So I guess I picked up on that stuff. But that's it.
It's interesting you say that because as I've gotten older, I think that's one of the things I actually like about it is the constant movement. And anytime there's a stop and play, I'm like, why do you got to stop? Let's just keep going. Let's keep going. I think it works for my mind because we keep just constant movement.
Yeah. And I like games with strategy, like games where there's a little bit of stopping and some strategy, and it's not just like that, I guess.
Tabi, what about you? Why did you feel like you connect with basketball?
Well, for basketball, it's like a very fast paced game. I didn't get really into basketball until like into fifth grade.
Did you play?
Um, I did. Well, I did play in fifth grade. I was a manager of the eighth grade team. Was in seventh grade. Other than that, I haven't played like organized basketball. Just mostly pick up games here and there.
Because I don't enjoy playing sports, but I'll watch sports. That's my limit. Like, I tried, I just don't have the patience, nor the coordination, nor the personality for it. I don't know. It just doesn't work for me. So I like watching it, but I really can't play it, which is interesting.
I just like play basketball just for the fun. Thought about playing for a school team. It's not for me.
Yeah.
Well, Tabby, something Becca knows more about is music, and
Slightly more.
and I guess one of the things that you love is Linkin Park.
Yeah.
Um, so, do you have a go-to song for Linkin Park? First off,
Oh yeah, it's a song. No, I listen to the song constantly when it first came out, mostly because around that time I was going through my Asperger's diagnosis, and the song relates to me perfectly.
and what was it about that song?
Well, it's basically like you watch the music video, you got this girl who wants to be an artist, and while everyone else wants her to be like someone else, be more like them.
Mm.
And basically, you can feel like a lot of autistics feel the same way. They want to be a doctor themselves. Well, yeah, society tells them you gotta be like everyone else. So basically, the line "be more like me and less like you" fits autistic life perfectly.
Mm-hmm. It does. That's a really good line.
With what are there any other songs from Linkin Park that?
That I like. In the end, what's the first it was the first Linkin Park song I've heard on the radio. That song got me hooked. Also like New Divide, Talk to Myself, Good Good Goodbye, has a basketball metaphor in the video. And the song One More Lie, is a sad song. I do play that. When on days when if either a birthday or the death anniversary of someone who I know personally passed away, they'll play that song. I do play that song. I also play that song on Chester's like birthday and death anniversaries as well.
Mm-hmm. Awesome.
And something else that you is a special interest of yours. You mentioned, I believe, is history.
Yeah, I'm a big history nerd. Matter of fact, history is my primary special interest. Been interested in history ever since I was a little kid.
Is there any particular time period that you like?
American history, early to mid 19th century, or mid 19th century, basically Lincoln's livelihood. And
Mm-hmm.
also do like some contemporary history, like World War II, the 1960s. Get really interested in Wargate, very fascinating, and also do like to learn about the presidential assassinations,
Mm.
particularly Lincoln's and Kennedy's. The Kennedys, I haven't found much interest in his assassination, but for for Garfield's is like, to me, it's fairly his interesting, because got stuff like a nutcase who wanted the government a job.
Yeah. Well, I have to ask this because I think about all the time. What time period, if you could come back in any time period that you could live in, which one would it be?
I picked the Civil War era
All right. In America or?
in America. That way, I can actually meet the real Lincoln. I met at least two Lincoln presenters, at least two Lincoln presenters, in my lifetime. I just wish I could meet Us Abe for real.
Right. What about you, Doug? What time period would you come back in?
I don't know. Somewhere where I didn't have to drive, maybe.
Oh, I like that. So horses for you then, yes?
Then I'd probably be scared of horses, so that might not work. Uh-oh, this is getting more problematic than I thought, Becca.
You have to do some thinking about it.
I am. Do you have a time period?
I do. I think I would come back. Well, my two choices, I would come back either in the 1920s because I can't we see pictures of it, and I just can't imagine that people actually dressed like that, and that it was actually like that on like the regular. And so I need to know. I just need to find out about that. But then other than that, I would go like way, 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 way back to like Aristotle and Plato's time in ancient Greece. That would be where that has always been my first choice.
That time period interests me. Any time period maybe where there weren't fireworks, I might go for that time period.
And for me, I probably would go back to like ancient Greece or ancient Rome. Hell, I would even go back to ancient Egypt, no one building pyramids.
Right? Just to see, like I can't. It's fascinating to me. I don't know. It's interesting. Sorry, Doug. I know you have other questions.
No, I think it's an interesting question because I'm interested probably in all the time periods just because I'm always interested to know, is it really how it's represented,
Right.
Present day?
Right. We
Yeah,
see all
because
these, like,
I've noticed that for most people, know they tend to interpret historical events so based on their way of thinking of today's time period.
mhm,
Like for example, in Lincoln's era, two guys sharing a bed is an economic issue, not because they're in a relationship with each other.
right.
And most people tend to interpret that as Lincoln and their guy relationships together. Nope, that's not the case. It's economics. It's like two straight guys sharing an apartment today,
Yeah.
even though like 21st century equivalent of it.
Nice. It's true. We have so much bias when we look back.
Absolutely. One thing about Lincoln that interests me is only, I guess, in politics would like you get the nickname of honest, and it would it'd be like that's like an impressive thing.
It definitely is, right? Like,
Yeah.
yeah, he was a truth teller, and that's what it is. Not everybody likes us, truth tellers.
Mm.
Well, there's a story of him returning like 6 cents and change to to a woman when we work as a postmaster in New Salem because to him no he felt it's either to return the change or to keep it for himself no because back then he was like 27-year-old young Donald trying to make his way in the world trying to figure out who he was in that time period.
Mm-hmm. So interesting.
Tabi, you mentioned being interested in assassinations.
Yeah.
Are you interested in like all those conspiracy theories relating to assassinations, or?
Well, Lincoln assassination, it has been proven there's a conspiracy involved in them because Donald Booth was to try to like only eliminate Lincoln, but he also wanted to try to eliminate the vice president, secretary of state. So he got his cronies to do some of his dirty work. Of course, well, the secretary of state got wounded. Well, the guy was supposed to kill the vice president. Some of them got drunk and chickened out. And for the Lincoln assassination, General know about the co-conspiracy. Since there's been talking a lot about Mary Serrano, I do believe that she should have been punished because she basically provided the meeting room for the plot, but I don't think her punishment should be a rope around her neck. Then Spangler, who was a force dealer at the time of the assassination, basically he was only there because he was working that day, and I don't think he should have been charged at all. As for the Kennedy assassination conspiracies, I've heard several different theories. Of course, everyone knows that Oswald did it alone. Some said that Oswald was framed. I even read this book called The Texas Connection, which gives us theory that Kennedy's vice president was involved in the assassination because for the obvious reason, hey, LBJ may kill the president if Kennedy was killed.
Do you buy any of them? Do you think any of them are true?
For Kennedy assassination, it's kind of like hard to tell. I do believe that LBJ was like somehow is somehow evolved because obviously it will make him president. Can it was go and I find something interesting in the Texas Connection book. But it made me like rethink the alone part. The line says also mentioned also admire Kennedy. Yeah, you admire someone you've already voted for the president, not shoot them. So basically, that kind of makes me wary of Oswald did it alone.
Mm-hmm.
And also Oswald wasn't like straight ahead either.
Yeah.
And try to shoot a moving target is it's hard to do, especially with a sharpshooter. Especially with someone who's been trained as a sharpshooter to shoot at a moving object who's gets going away from you, not towards you. So basically, I'm a little bit iffy on Oswald did alone thing.
Yeah.
As for Garfield and McKinley, there really wasn't conspiracy theories about their assassinations.
Great. Well, I think we're about at the time of the show for Inside the Autistic Studio, where we ask you 11 questions to get to know you a little bit better, Tabi. The first question is, what are your pronouns?
I use she and her, basically the typical female pronouns.
Nice.
And what is your preferred stim?
I do like pen collecting or tapping my fingers. Sometimes I'll even take a pencil and do some type of do my inner Rob Boren mode on occasion. Basically, it's, for those who don't know, Rob Boren is Linkin Park's drummer.
What is your favorite curse word?
Is oh shit or damn.
Who do you love and what are you doing about it?
Obviously, I love my husband. And what I'm doing about it is being able to learn anything about Star Wars. Matter of fact, he's obsessed with Star Wars. I bet that I'm not sure if people with ADHD have special interests, but if they do, that would be his.
During the pandemic, I was really bored and I was like, I don't know. I guess I'll watch some Star Wars. And me and my partner, we watched every single one. And I don't think, I'm going to maybe offend your partner and maybe lots of people now. I don't think Star Wars aged well.
It's very depressing, isn't it?
It was very sad. It was not what I remembered.
Right? I watched another movie recently that I felt that way about, where you just look at, it's the graphics, right?
Yeah.
Right? The old like stuff like that. And now we can see it. You can see the green screen and you can see all the stuff you couldn't see before.
I also think some of the acting and writing didn't age well as well. So
yeah, basically just stuck in that time period.
Yeah, a little bit. The next two are fill in the blank, Tabi. You may be neurotypical if
people expect you to read your mind, but not mind. I don't know what you're thinking.
You may be autistic if,
as I said earlier, the song lyric from "Be more like me and less like you" comes to heart.
Mm-hmm.
What's something you want to learn to do or be better at?
Well, do want to work on doing some to learn how to speak several languages fluently. The ones I'm trying to do are Spanish, German, Swedish, and Croatian.
Wow.
German, Swedish, or do my heritage Spanish because it's most useful. And Croatian just in case I meet Tony in person. Gotta press him somehow.
Well, I'm still working on English, so I'm always impressed by anyone that learns any language fluently. What autistic social media account should people be paying attention to?
I do like autistic not weird
Mm.
and yums and Portuguese. I don't know how to pronounce their last name.
Yen
Yeah,
Perkins.
yeah.
Yeah.
I do like follow yum.
Yeah.
What's one thing in your routine you couldn't possibly live without?
I definitely need my tunes.
Mm.
Hmm. Dog, cat, or must I choose?
Dog.
Dog.
Yeah, dog. I do have a dog. Matter of fact, on my tour page, my my tour page show that's a picture of me with my dog.
Mm.
And our last question, what does autistic joy mean to you?
It means like connecting like with other people where they special autistics connecting with other autistics because and for me personally, I don't know a lot of autistics in person.
Mm-hmm.
Just basically like they're like mostly like online connections
Mm-hmm.
for me, so it brings me joy that I could connect to them online.
Nice. All right. Is that the last one, though?
That was it.
That's it. Oh my God. Well, thank you so much for joining us, Tabi. I'm so excited to have you and to talk about all this stuff. So interesting. Now I want to rewatch old movies so that I can see how bad the graphics work and put myself in some reality and not this picturesque thing. All right. And I probably should try and watch basketball sometime, but it
You
might
probably
be
won't
too late
like
for
it.
me.
You probably won't like it.
Really fast, and they're really tall, and short people are nice. So thank you so much for joining me. That's going to be it for Info Dump for today. We'll be back with the next episode. I'll see you guys soon, right?
Bye.
Hey, bye.